of January. This is how the people are inviting people in Karol Bagh, and the claim is that since not everyone can go to that particular place in Ayodhya, people are requested to go to their nearby temples and celebrate the occasion as if it is Diwali.
32 टीम इस क्षेत्र में लगी हुई है और 3400 परिवारों को, मंदिरों को, जैन मंदिर को, गुरुद्वारे को, सबको हम कवर कर रहे हैं.
So this is the kind of preparation, in fact this is the kind of practice that VHP Delhi unit is involved in. They are claiming that on that particular day people should celebrate Diwali and in fact light the diyas at their houses, at their homes.
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has scribbed 3 summons now in the liquor policy scam case, escalating the fight over the issue. Now, sources say Kejriwal might not be arrested immediately, but the investigating agency is most likely to issue a 4th summons to the Delhi Chief Minister. Meanwhile, Kejriwal accused the BJP of damaging India's democratic values for political gains and stressed on the point that his most significant capital and strength was his honesty. This came after through the night last night and early morning today, AAP leaders created a sense of an imminent arrest of Arvind Kejriwal. Yes, the Chief Minister has legal options with him, especially because he thinks and has said in his letters to the ED that these summons are illegal. He has declared this entire case false as well. He can approach a court to quash these summons or file for an anticipatory bail if they are fearing an arrest. But interestingly, politically, he's not choosing any of these options. He's instead choosing to just skip the summons and continue to do so. It is unlikely that if the ED was to issue him a 4th summon, he will appear. He's also declared, as I said, this entire case false. He's issued a clean chit, not just to himself, but even to his ministers who are now in jail. Should this be taken as willful defiance, as non-cooperation in an investigation? Or is this just a way to make this a political spectacle out of what they are fearing is an imminent arrest? After all, if the arrest was to happen from the Chief Minister's residence, it will be more dramatic and can be used to portray the agencies as unfair. So, is Arvind Kejriwal purposely daring the ED to arrest him? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. But first, I just want to break down the extent of the political war of words that is ongoing. There are, of course, no prizes for guessing that the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are locked in a very bitter fight as far as this case is concerned, and of course the arrests that have taken place now are summons to Arvind Kejriwal. So Arvind Kejriwal today actually addressed the media digitally, not via press conference but in a speech of sorts. He said that the probe has been on for 2 years, but the summons to him have come just before the Lok Sabha polls. The BJP has hit back saying that this is just Arvind Kejriwal running away from the probe. What else has the Chief Minister said? He has said that this is a false case, these summons are illegal. Remember, he has been maintaining this since the very start, but especially since he started getting these summons. Interestingly, the first agency to call him for questioning was the CBI almost a year ago, and in that case, he had appeared. But since then, when the ED started investigating the PMLA angle, he has not appeared before this agency. The BJP says that the court has established that there is a money trail that the investigative agencies has to look into. So therefore, this is not a false case, or at least cannot be declared so as of now. Now, this is what Arvind Kejriwal also said, that this is gundagardi. The BJP wants to arrest him. BJP says this is Choro ki Barat mourning for Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, as I said, there was a huge anticipation built today that's very soon Arvind Kejriwal is going to be arrested this morning. BJP wants to force opposition netas to join them. This is also what Arvind Kejriwal has said today. Kejriwal is the kingpin of the liquor policy scam. This is something that the BJP has maintained. Interestingly, Kejriwal also said today that AAP netas, they did not join the BJP despite the pressure, and that is why they are in jail today. BJP says Kattar Beiman CM is behaving like a fugitive. I do want to break down why is it that Arvind Kejriwal is even being called. Now, of course, he is the Chief Minister. He was the Chief Minister when this excise policy was drafted. The minister concerned, Manish Sisodia, is in jail, but surely there will be some accountability, politically and otherwise, in governance of a sitting chief minister. But that's not the only reason why the ED has called him, why the CBI has called him in the past. So I want to break down what the investigations have revealed. Now, reason one is that the ED has claimed in its investigations that there has been a video call conversation between the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and one of the accused businessmen, Sameer Mahindru. Second reason, another accused, Dinesh Arora, has claimed allegedly that he met Kejriwal as far as this entire process of drafting is concerned. ED has also claimed that Vijay Nair, who was AAP communication in charge and an accused in this case, was acting at CM's behest. The remand note of Amit Arora mentions Arvind Kejriwal as well, and Sisodia's ex-PA has claimed that the policy report was given at the Chief Minister's home. YSRCP MP has said that his son was welcomed into the business by Arvind Kejriwal, and ED believes that the proceeds eventually went to the Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal could be made an accused as he is the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party. So this is why Arvind Kejriwal's role has come under scanner. But Arvind Kejriwal continues to claim that his government is Kattar Imandar. I also want to quickly break down that this is not just one of the issues that they are facing. In this, of course, the Chief Minister directly is under question, and two top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party have now been in jail. Satyendra Jain has been in jail for months in another case. But this is not the only corruption charge that the Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government is facing. So let me just break down what has happened. There is a new Mohalla Clinic fake test scam that has come to light, where the Aam Aadmi Party is facing charges of fake diagnostic tests without any patients. 7 doctors have already been removed from these Mohalla clinics by the Health Ministry in September 2023. Now the LG has asked CBI to investigate these corruption charges. There is also a fake medicine scam. Spurious medicines were allegedly supplied to government hospitals in Delhi. Some life-saving medicines were found to be substandard. The Delhi LG has again ordered a CBI probe in this case as well. So troubles could mount for the government, not just in this case, but in other cases as well. There was also earlier a government school classroom scam that had been highlighted. This was the Delhi Vigilance Department itself, which highlighted that there were discrepancies, irregularities in the construction of as many as 2,400 classes. And again, corruption to the tune of 1,300 crores was alleged. As far as this case is concerned, inquiry is also going on in this. And then there was this auto permit scam as well, irregularities in permit allotment of as many as 900 rickshaws. This was way back in 2021, and 14 people were even arrested as far as this case is concerned. So this isn't just about liquor gate. The questions of probity, of corruption, and whether the Aam Aadmi Party has stood true to its original stand of anti-corruption is not just because of Liquorgate. It's been building over a period of time. But focusing on the Liquorgate probe, the big question we ask is this: if a fourth summons was to be given, will Arvind Kejriwal appear? Seems unlikely. So is it that Arvind Kejriwal is effectively daring the ED that if you want me, you'll have to arrest me? We'll take that forward with our guests.
बीजेपी का मकसद कोई पूछताछ करना थोड़ी है। इनका मकसद है पूछताछ के बहाने केजरीवाल को बुला लो और उसे गिरफ्तार कर लो, ताकि मैं लोकसभा चुनाव में प्रचार न कर पाऊं।
अब ये चाहते हैं कि ठीक लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले कैसे भी करके अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को अरेस्ट कर लें। इतना ही नहीं, इंडिया अलायंस के कई बड़े नेताओं पर ईडी की कार्यवाही चल रही है, उनको भी अरेस्ट कर ले।
नकली दवाइयाँ आप अस्पतालों में दे रहे हैं, फर्जी रिपोर्ट दे रहे हैं, फर्जी एक्सरे रिपोर्ट दे रहे हैं। सबके पीछे सिर्फ एक काम चल रहा है, पैसे का खेल। अरविंद केजरीवाल, आप भ्रष्टाचार के कीर्तिमान स्थापित कर रहे हैं, उसके लिए आपको बधाई। लेकिन अल्टीमेटली आपको जांच एजेंसी के सामने आना होगा, दिल्ली की जनता को सच बताना होगा।
Hello, Moto.
Let's go across to our guest joining us. Shazia Ilmi, BJP's national spokesperson. Siddharth Sharma from the Aam Aadmi Party. Sujata Paul from the Congress Party. Also Amitabh Tiwari is political analyst joining us. I do thank you all for your time. Siddharth, let me begin with you. The Chief Minister has accused the ED of being judge, jury and executioner as far as his letters to the ED in response to those summons is concerned. But Arvind Kejriwal earlier and today as well in his briefing called the case false, gave himself and everybody else a clean sheet, said that he was honest. Who exactly is acting as judge, jury and executioner here?
Yeah, there is a saying in English, Shivani, beg, borrow or steal. BJP has essentially added intimidation also to it. We have to understand that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, even before becoming the Chief Minister of Delhi, is a UPSC pass out. He was an IRS officer. He knows law better than most of us sitting in the studios here. Since now BJP knows that be it farmers, be it truckers, be it youth, be it women, they are not going to vote for it. It wants to bulldoze opposition into submission to win these elections. Now, coercion only works on weaklings. You bowl a bouncer to Virat Kohli at your own peril. Arvind Kejriwal has been hitting these kind of bouncers of BJP for a six for the last 10 years. What is the problem? BJP is essentially spooked by Kejriwal because he delivers health, universal health and universal education to everyone without appeasement or polarization, which BJP does. Now, and a well-doing society, a society which is doing well, it is the proof of the pudding is in the eating in the form that people of Delhi has been re-electing Mr. Kejriwal for the last 10 years because they have been rejecting BJP's zero governance.
Would you then agree,
for the last
Siddharth,
10 years.
Because the Prime Minister has very high approval ratings in survey after survey, would you then agree that no question can be asked of the central government? If tomorrow a corruption charge was to come against the central government, would you say political approval and ratings suffice? No answers need to be given?
Well, then the BJP will have to answer that these are the questions that are being raised, that in Banaras Hindu University, BJP office bearers in the Prime Minister's own constituency are accused of women molestation. Now BJP is also answerable to it. How much BJP is taking it seriously?
How is that connected to a corruption case that
the moment I said that BJP
government
is spooked by Kejriwal, why does the anchor get spooked? Let me complete.
No, but this is
Let
not...
me complete.
No, one second. I'm sorry. I'm not going to allow you to deviate the debate. I'm sorry. A rape case is not the same as a corruption charge at a government. Siddharth, I asked you a very simple question. Can anyone accused, Arvind Kejriwal is not an accused here, but can anyone who's called in an investigation declare the summons are illegal? You said you and I are not experts, but I actually did have a former director of the CBI on the show yesterday on this issue. He said the agency does not have to give any clarification on why and in what capacity we are calling you. Leave that aside. Leave that aside. One second.
No,
can you declare...
You ask me a question, then you say leave that aside.
No, I'm asking you the question. I'm finishing my question. Calm down. We've got a lot of time. Yes, I'm asking you a question. Just calm down for a second. I don't want to speak over you. But I will not be heckled by you.
No, I'm not heckling you.
Absolutely. So let me finish my question. My question is this. My question is this. Don't bring everything else under the sun. That's not how you debate pointed questions. But my question is this. Can you declare the case, the summons illegal? Can you declare the case false, or will courts do that? Can you give yourself a clean sheet? Is the fundamental question today.
In India, everybody knows, in any democracy in India, anything that has to happen through a legal channel. Even yesterday, the Honorable Home Minister of India has said openly that even in terrorist cases, the law enforcement agencies have to take a very processed approach. That is what Arvind Kejriwal is asking. Because yesterday, the Enforcement Directorate even summoned two farmers from Tamil Nadu who are having 450 rupees at their disposal for cattle trespass. Arvind Kejriwal is exactly asking that question, that why are you calling me? Are you calling me for cattle trespass? What is the issue? If the issue is liquor scam, then Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has already answered 56 questions. You will have to understand that Arvind Kejriwal, being the constitutional head of a state, being a chief minister, he will speak everything on the record. That is what he is asking. He is saying that I am willing to cooperate with the investigation provided it is on record. Why
So
is
when you go to
BJP
the
afraid
agencies,
of
it is on
getting
record.
things on the record?
First of all, the summons clearly clarify that this is a Liquorgate investigation. And
No,
like I said,
no,
they
no,
do. They mention the file
no,
number.
No, show it to your
Also, you mentioned that
viewers.
he has already answered. I don't know what
there
you
is
said.
only
He
a
said,
file noting, Shivani. There is
Yeah, so
only
file
a file
number is
noting.
enough.
He is summoned for no reason. That is why Arvind Kejriwal, being a former IRS officer, is asking the Enforcement Directorate that this is an illegal summon if the subject is not mentioned.
but
It
you
is very
can't declare it
clear.
illegal. You have to go to a
mention the
court and get
subject.
it declared illegal.
You
That's what
can't
I'm
bounce
saying.
out. You can't bounce out Virat Kohli. You are going to bounce out Virat Kohli at your own peril.
I don't understand what you're trying to say. My question is, only a court can declare it an illegal summon. You can't declare it illegal yourself and refuse to join. The Chief Minister has the option of going to a court and saying these are illegal summons and those summons will be quashed. Secondly, you did mention that he has appeared before the agencies before. Then what is the difficulty now? 1 second. I gave you enough opportunity. I don't want to shout over you, so please don't do this. I gave you enough opportunity. Let me finish what I'm saying, Siddharth. Siddharth, let me finish what I am saying. I don't want to speak over you, but I gave you the opportunity.
ED or CBI can walk into any place, ask anyone to be summoned for no reason. No, that is not the case. In India, you have to go to a magistrate, show him the prima facie evidence and get a warrant. That is what the point is.
This is not a warrant. This is a summon. You're
Even
confusing
though
two
summon,
different
it has
things.
to be
In any
legal.
case, I think you're
It has to be
deliberately trying to
legal.
run
Are
around in
you
circles.
saying that the
My
ED
question
can
is,
just
Sujata
walk
Paul,
into
I'm coming to
anyone
you.
or
If
summon
Arvind
anyone?
Kejriwal did attend the summon that was issued by the CBI, why do you think he's not attending the summons that have been issued by the ED? 3 summons have been skipped. And it's not just skipped because he's otherwise engaged. He has also very categorically said that he doesn't believe he needs to present himself before the agency. Do you agree that the Chief Minister should be deciding which summon he will oblige and not oblige?
Shivani, most importantly, corruption is a fight that needs to be fought by everybody. But politicization of the battle on corruption should not happen. And what are we seeing today? The government is a government with a huge mandate. And this government has agencies which they tout as independent agencies. If I am wrong, please say so. And if I am not, then I am bound to ask, how is it that the BJP spokespersons come and defend these agencies and what they do? Because second point that I'd like to ask is everyone really equal before law? If you look at the number of cases between 2014 and 2023 that have been filed under PMLA against various people, 95% of those cases, as per the data available, is against the opposition members. Now, if everybody is equal before law, I want to know, I don't even want to ask about Narendra Tomar's son, where the ED refused to go. There was so much of money which came out, which was being spoken about. But
it was being spoken about. The money never came out. But in any case, I get your point. So, you didn't answer my question. If somebody was to get a summon, should the Chief Minister in this case decide, okay, I decide I am not going to make myself available because I think this case is false? That's all I'm discussing.
Great question. But Shivani, tell me something. I will answer this question, but my first part is that Brij Bhushan Charan Singh had POCSO against him, right? Was he arrested? And weren't the POCSO charges taken back? So when I'm sorry, but
that doesn't apply here. It's not a compromise case.
Achilles heel of BJP.
If there was a section, we are not talking of an arrest. We are talking of an investigation where you are summoned.
About arrest, because you see what has happened, and I'll give you the reason for that. If you remember, when Manish Sisodia's house was raided at that time, one of the BJP leaders had come out in the open and had said, "Humne 2 wicket down kar diye aur teesra wicket ab hum down karenge." So understand what is being said. So the fact is that if Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is saying, send me the questions, what is the problem? He's the Chief Minister. He's responsible for a whole lot of people out there. But before Lok Sabha elections, if the BJP government is misusing the agencies, questions will be asked. 95% of the cases during this government's tenure.
But do you believe this case is false? Because the Congress in the past has said that this is a case that is legitimate.
Sorry, what was the first part?
Kejriwal says this case is false. What is the Congress party stand on this? Your leaders have actually claimed credit for bringing the liquor policy scam in the limelight in the past.
If there are accusations, what did I start by saying? I said that the fight against corruption should be fought, but you shouldn't politicize it.
No, is this case right or wrong? The Congress also very conveniently decides which case it believes by the agencies, which case it doesn't believe by the agencies. That can't be the case.
That the agencies are being misused. So if the BJP government is trying to get Mr. Kejriwal off the radar from the Lok Sabha elections, there are questions which will be asked. Because if you
I'm asking you, is this a legitimate case or not? Is the investigation in the liquor scam legitimate or not? Or do you believe, like Mr. Kejriwal, this is a false case?
Asking you 70,000 crore, chakki piecing, where is Mr. Ajit Pawar? There are a whole lot of questions that can be asked. ABG shipping yard, there was a
Why are you
case
deflecting from the question I'm asking you? Somebody else's corruption or allegations is not a defense for Mr. Kejriwal. This is the problem. Either you defend this case, two wrongs will not make a right. I got your political point. I'll take that question to BJP on the agencies. But my question is, do you believe this case, you are an opposition party in Delhi, is this case a legitimate case or not?
I am answering the question and I am saying that the Congress party has always stood with the law. But law being misused is not something that the Congress party will ever stand for.
Okay, so you believe the law is being misused as far as this case is concerned. Shazia Elmi, this is something both the Arvind Kejriwal-led government, Aam Aadmi Party and even the Congress is saying today. Clearly, the faith in the agencies has eroded over the last 10 years and opposition leaders have had enough. One after the other, opposition leaders are saying, we are not going to cooperate because you only target us. And you put us in jail under stringent sections where we can't prove ourselves innocent. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. That was not my intention. But answer now.
Okay. Yes, Shivani. So first things first, I'm very happy to know that Congress party has at least one spokesperson which is going against its own earlier stand, because all other spokespersons I have dealt with so far were actually taking credit for this entire matter, and because they feel they were the ones who highlighted it and they were the ones who wanted it to go to its consequences, you know, to its end, desired end. So congratulations Sujata ji, you have managed to defy all your own party people and who actually worked very hard to highlight this, and by defending Aam Aadmi Party so openly, I'm sure Aam Aadmi Party would be very grateful for your services. Now let me start off. For an arrest, you need an arrest warrant, and chief ministers can be arrested during their tenure as CMs, and this is what the CRPC says very clearly. Secondly, where ED is concerned, there is no law or no mandate whereby ED has to specify or give questions in writing or differentiate between the fact that Aam Aadmi Party's chief is being questioned on the basis of his chief ministership, him being a convener or being a normal citizen. ED is not mandated and doesn't have to answer. Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal was purely honest and knew he wasn't part of this, because there have been 3 summons so far and 15 arrests. Let me make it very, very clear, and I'll give you the names of all the people in the entire ring, in the cartel. You know, but there were 15 names, and there was also Sanjay Singh and Manish Sisodia. Manish Sisodia was arrested exactly a year ago. It's been February. So the matter has been going on. It has nothing to do with Lok Sabha, because Sanjay Singh's name also came up last year in 22. So it has nothing to do with Lok Sabha, because they would have said it has something to do with that Vidhan Sabha. So that exactly is, that is the same old standard hackneyed pathetic point. Now, coming to the main, to the crux of it.
Yes.
Kejriwal, if he's so honest, why can't he just go and answer the question?
I asked you
What
that
stops
question.
him?
No, I'll tell you why.
And
The
also the
opposition
fact of the
leaders
matter
are
is
saying that we don't trust
the
the
social
agencies
media-
anymore. Whether it is a foolproof case, not a foolproof case, initial stage, later stage,
No.
you are just arresting
so they
leaders.
can say anything. But do you remember?
And you are wanting to arrest
No, do you know
Arvind
what happened?
Kejriwal because
So
this
do you
is a
remember-
government that you are most under threat
do you
with
remember-
in Delhi.
So Supreme Court has answered even on ED a few times, and it is the Supreme Court which has refused the bail of Manish Sisodia, not once but many times. And it is the Supreme Court which wrapped the knuckles of this government and said that we have monies to the amount of 1,400 crores in 3 years to spend on advertising. Why won't you spend that money on the DTC buses? So if you don't have faith in ED, you don't have faith in CBI, you don't have faith in EC, until you win elections, you don't have faith in High Court, you don't have faith in lower sessions courts, you don't have faith in Supreme Court, you don't have faith in any agency of the country, then why on earth are you contesting elections from there? You should just say that this republic is not fit for us to be a part of, and we are not a part of it. Why do you want to be a chief minister here and have run 2 governments? On what basis? How would you have been made and come to power with such majority if you did not have faith in the government?
Okay,
and
all
the
right.
various agencies that run it?
Okay,
I mean, this is the most idiotic conversation I
No,
could
but
ever have.
more
that,
and
you know,
more
we don't have
opposition
faith in
leaders
ED
are
itself.
choosing this path. You could say
Tell
that
me
it is
why. Tell me why.
bringing down the the
No, but
position of the
Shivani,
agency.
last thing,
Very
last
quickly,
thing.
please. Yes,
Shivani,
very
last
quickly.
thing. Sanjay Raut got bail. Chidambaram got bail. Sonia Gandhi got bail. Lalu Prasad Yadav got bail. Manish Sisodia did not get bail. Please listen to me carefully. Sanjay Singh did not get bail. The evidence which is unsurmountable points to that one direction. And which is why Kejriwal is petrified, because he knows that the phone call was made by Vijay Nair from Samir Mahindra with Vijay Nair in the middle on the FaceTime, asking is he the person to whom 100 crore kickbacks can be given. And because
Okay.
if 15 people arrested with tons of evidence,
Okay.
that is why he is not ready to face the ED, because he knows he'll go to jail.
Okay, I would want to go across to Amitabh Tiwari on this as well. There is a fear within the Aam Aadmi Party. They voice it themselves, so I'm going by what they're saying. They believe Arvind Kejriwal's arrest is imminent. Whether it helps, whether he goes to the agencies, doesn't help. They've decided it's futile. He's going to be arrested either way. And do you feel that they've decided that if the arrest is imminent, it's better that he's taken out of his residence than him going and behind closed doors he gets arrested and it's just announced, because this is going to be a political spectacle?
Yeah, so essentially the perception battle which is being fought in 2 courts. One is the ED and the related courts, and the other is the public court. Now, AAP is of course trying to play to the public courts or the public gallery. When you say that they feel that the arrest is imminent because of political vendetta by the BJP, they perhaps also want to gain sympathy ahead out of the 24 Lok Sabha elections, and hope that this galvanizes the supporters of Aam Aadmi Party in both Punjab as well as Delhi and across India for the India bloc. See, Aam Aadmi Party is saying to its voters that the notices are illegal, as you've raised a very important question. If the notice is illegal or illegal can be decided only in a court of law. Whether it is moral or immoral can be decided in the public court.
Right.
And since ED has been lenient and has followed a different approach with different people, like I was watching on your screen, after the second evading, Sanjay Raut was arrested. But there is a case of Hemant Soren who has not yet been arrested and has exhausted seven summons.
Yes.
7 summons. So Arvind Kejriwal also hopes that there is a person who has not been arrested till the 7th summon. So being a chief minister, they may not be partial to them and take the plunge. The fact that only opposition leaders are being investigated by the BJP, by the ED, does raise this question that what about the leaders who have had corruption allegations against them and have joined the BJP, but the cases against them have slowed. And in India, if you see, tall leaders do not are not afraid from going to jail. There are many leaders who have gone to jail and their political prospects have increased after going to jail. Lalu Yadav, Jayalalitha, there are many examples like that. So it's not that just going to the jail of Arvind Kejriwal will help the BJP gain some
It could actually backfire.
It could actually backfire in the case of sympathy.
Yes, in the public court.
Yeah, but both of them are speaking to the gallery of their converted voters. And the key question is, what is the neutral voter seeing
Exactly.
this as?
I was going to ask you exactly this. Do you believe this battle affects those who may be undecided? Could you change a decided voter's mind? The opposition says agencies are biased. The BJP says they're doing their job. And, these leaders are corrupt. We have known their history as well. Apart from the decided voter, is the neutral voter going to be swayed by any of these arguments?
I think for the neutral voter, the real issues are bread and butter issues, which is economy, price rise, inflation, unemployment. And these issues may not impact the undecided voter. The decided voters of the BJP feel that whatever ED is doing is right. And the decided voters of the India bloc are feeling that whatever AAP or India bloc is doing is right. But the undecided voter has other larger issues which are a worrying factor for them. And corruption, corruption is an issue or can be made out an issue when you are in opposition. So 2013-14 Lok Sabha election. When you are in power, unless you have a track record of punishing the people you have alleged are involved in corruption, and that is not great of the ED as you said, then it is very difficult to make corruption an issue for an incumbent government in its favor.
No, some of the agencies on some parameters have good track record, but not overall. You could always, statistics can always be shared from different angles. But overall, in the last 10 years, you look at from Robert Vadra to now Arvind Kejriwal, absolutely no case has been decided. Those cases keep going on. And how long are you going to milk the allegations of corruption against your opponent after being in power for 10 years? I think, Amitabh, you raise a very important point of what is the message you're trying to send, except that everybody else is corrupt and we are the only honest one. I'll give 30 seconds each to all of our other panelists. Siddharth, would it not be better, even politically and morally, in terms of propriety and probity, for the Chief Minister to say that, see, I believe this case is false. There is vendetta against me and my government, but I am going to participate and make myself available, do what you can. When you skip summons and act in defiance, it sends possibly the other message.
Yeah, okay, Shivani, 30 seconds. Point number one, the Gujarat Chief Minister in the early 2000s also did not appear when summoned by SIT in Gujarat on many occasions. He later presented himself. Point number two, because you raised a very pertinent point about propriety. The answer is, once someone gets elected, there is a way to deal with constitutional personalities. Even United States, which had denied visa to the then Gujarat CM, recognized him as the elected Prime Minister of India, and after that extended him befitting protocols and befitting respect. Now, what privileges BJP is receiving for itself, isn't it true also appropriate for it to extend it to others? That's called constitutional propriety. Arvind Kejriwal...
What is wrong in the summon? Summon is constitutionally propriety only. They've not gone in and arrested him.
Is saying. That's what Arvind Kejriwal is saying, that you ask me questions.
Ask you questions.
I'm also duty bound as a Chief Minister. I'll answer to you. Why ED is not asking him questions?
If it stopped there, I would get your point.
You have to go on record.
No, one second. If you stopped there, I would get your point. But the Chief Minister has also said that these are illegal, the case is false. I am honest. If it stopped at the fact that you were raising a procedural issue, that's a separate technical issue, but you have not stopped at that. Sujata Paul, is it enough to just say agencies have a vendetta? You have to explain the cases and the charges.
There is a procedure that needs to be followed. But ever since the BJP has come into power, we have seen that people are called, and our leaders have been there. Haven't they been to the offices? Haven't they gone there? But what is happening in the last few days, and especially in the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections, I do understand where the Aam Aadmi Party is coming from, because 3 of their leaders have been arrested when they were called for, interrogation. But when you're talking about a Chief Minister and if he's asking for questions, I don't think there is a problem, because...
Limited time. You've made that point. I'm sorry, I'm moving on. Shazia Ilmi, there is a problem in terms of the credibility of the agencies. And I think that is the moot question here.
Well, why should you ask me or direct that question to me? I mean, I speak for my party. I don't speak for any agency. And also, somebody was just mentioning about the fact that this has to be time bound. You tell me, is it in the hands of any party or government? Don't courts pronounce the verdicts? Aren't courts responsible for monitoring investigation and asking for more evidence, giving bails and then pronouncing sentences? So I don't think any party, it's up to any party to decide this. I mean, it's again a very skewed and a very silly argument to make. And the fact of the matter is that investigative agencies work. And if you see what happened with 2G, do you remember? Do you remember, Mr. They were all distributing laddus. So it was the investigation that was done, right? And it was another government in power. It was our government in power, but they called themselves victorious. So it is ultimately in the hands of the courts.
Okay, all right. I'll leave it on that
note. So I don't think any party can do anything about it. And Kejriwal has been crying hoarse about the fact that anybody with any stain of corruption should sit out and should not be a part of public life.
Well, that's the matter of public perception, and that is exactly the battle of public court. How will this look in the public court? I do thank our guests for joining us. Some of them are continuing for a second debate. On the other side, we will be focusing on the ticket tussle or the seat sharing tussle within the India Alliance partners, including the Congress, AAP, TMC. But there seems to be some breakthrough. At least the convener of the bloc is set. We'll get you more in just a bit.
Hello, Moto.
Co-powered by
a crucial role here. Definitely, Ritu. Stay with us. We have Yesha Kotak joining us live from the Mumbai as well. Yesha, now coming back to you. If we were to talk about Shiv Sena's stand, they first said that we led the battle for Ram Mandir. We are supposed to be the one who should be getting the credit, but BJP has completely stolen the credit. If we were to talk about their current positioning, what exactly does their position looks like at the moment?
So as of now, the whole politics when we speak of Shiv Sena was around the fact that Uddhav Thackeray had not received invitation. But what has come forth later was that Uddhav Thackeray, who is the head of Shiv Sena UBT faction, would be receiving invitation. However, Uddhav Thackeray said that he has not received invitation. Here, there was a lot of politics around it because Sanjay Raut, who is a spokesperson for Shiv Sena UBT, had in fact taken digs at BJP at several occasions, wherein he said that it was because of the entire politics around the Ram Mandir inaugural, was where he was criticizing. He was saying that it was Balasaheb Thackeray as well who was working with other car sevaks, and which is why when we speak of these car sevaks, it is Uddhav Thackeray who should be given the due credit, and he questioned the entire politics or the intention around the Ram Mandir inaugural for Uddhav Thackeray. Now, not only Sanjay Raut, but we are seeing various allies in this case. That is allies of MVA who have taken potshot or questioned BJP's politics at several occasions. In fact, more lately when we speak of Jitendra Ahwad has gone ahead and also further questioned. He has shown the controversy by stating that Lord Rama is a meat eater. Now here in one of the speeches which he was giving to NCP workers at Shirdi yesterday, he said he was questioning BJP at various locations. He also happened to mention as to why the inaugural of Parliament cannot be made by Draupadi Murmu. Why would Draupadi Murmu not be invited for Ram Mandir inaugural? But to add to it, he further went ahead and said that it was Lord Rama who would think of downtrodden, and which is where, if he belongs to downtrodden, which means that because he had 14 years in Vanvas, he would in fact eat meat, which has not gone really well with several leaders in BJP who have gone further and questioned Jitendra Ahwad. They absolutely believe that there was no such chapter. We have seen various BJP leaders who have said that there was no such chapter in Ramayana. How come all of a sudden is Jitendra Ahwad speaking about it? So ever since last few weeks, we are seeing that MV allies have been at different occasions making comments which have in fact not really gone well with BJP, and these questions, these questions or statements have been hinted towards the whole Ram Mandir inaugural, which has led to a political war of words in Maharashtra.
Definitely, Yesha, and we'll come back to you to get more context over this controversial statement coming out from Jitendra Awad. But Pallavi, first coming back to you, if we go by the books, the claims that opposition have been making that them attending this particular event on January 22nd should not matter, should not be politicized, but they themselves have been organizing several other religious activities as well, several other religious events as well. Then why Prime Minister Modi's presence at this particular event is bothering them so much?
Exactly what the BJP is also saying, that why are you showing a double standards? I remember right in the middle of the last Lok Sabha elections, also many of the state elections, whether we are talking about UP or Gujarat, we all saw how Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra, Rahul Gandhi would visit all temples. Right in the middle of that, the Congress party officially at a press conference said that Rahul is a Janeyodhari Brahmin, he's a Shiv Bhakt, to make the point that Congress and Rahul Gandhi is as Hindu as the Prime Minister is. And on many platforms, whether it's in country or whether it's international, Rahul Gandhi has always said that there's a difference between the Hindutva being practiced by the BJP and the Hinduism we and the Congress party believes in. So the distancing of religion with politics has not even taken place as far as the Congress or the opposition parties are concerned. I mean, why just the Congress? I remember Bengal election, the Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee would recite the Chandi part to make the point that she believes in the Hindu rituals as well. And that's what the BJP is saying, that you very conveniently pick up a narrative when it suits you. The Ram Mandir is an emotive issue, yes. The Prime Minister is going to be present there. Invites have gone in to presidents of all opposition political parties and other political parties as well. And they are most welcome to be present there. There's no need to make it a kind of political issue. But as far as the opposition is concerned, they're saying, well, that even it's going to be all about the Prime Minister. He's going to showcase himself. He's going to use it for the BJP's narrative for the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So the politicization of religion is complete.
We have Ritu joining us live on the broadcast as well. Ritu, a very good morning to you. As far as the ground sentiment goes, what currently people at the ground feeling about these controversial statements coming out from the state and state ministers?
Well, initially, you see, when this whole case came up and then the political storm hit the Karnataka, people were in an assumption that what exactly was taking place ahead of the inauguration of Ayodhya Ram Mandir is completely about the sentiment of the Ram Bhakts as well. And this hasn't, of course, did not go down initially well with the people. But later point, you see the moment when the Congress government ensured that they are coming out with more proof to show that what he is, the individual is on a name of a Ram Bhakt. And now that the Congress government is ensuring that they are putting out the details about the kind of crimes that he had committed earlier as well, almost around 16 anti-social activities that he was involved in. So the government here is ensuring that through their statements they are seeing to it that the people on the ground understand what exactly it means when they are trying to clear all the old pending cases.
Welcome back. There is buzz around Nitish Kumar's name as convener of the India bloc, even as suspense continues over the alliance's next crucial date of meeting. Sources from the India alliance say that Nitish Kumar's appointment as convener is almost certain and a virtual meeting endorsing the decision is likely to happen soon. The Congress discussed this proposal of Nitish Kumar with him and RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav. Other partners within the bloc have also been consulted and taken into confidence. But even as the convener's post is done, seat sharing continues to snowball into a bigger war every day, at least in public, especially between parties like the Congress and TMC over the seat sharing in West Bengal. The question we ask is this: while the convener position may be decided, it is one step forward, but what about seat sharing? Is the India bloc going to be able to come to terms with each party's ambitions, or is it already too late to work this out? Let's go across to our guest. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP continues to be with us. So does Amitabh Tiwari. Dolly Sharma is the Congress spokesperson joining us. Manojit Mandal, political analyst, also with us. Dolly, we've heard Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary make very serious, big comments in response to what we are hearing from the TMC. The TMC is not willing to give you any more than 2 seats in West Bengal. They say they have their own rationale. Just shortly, a few minutes ago, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has said that if Mamata Banerjee has the guts, she should fight me from Behrampur. And earlier he has said nobody went begging to Mamata Banerjee. We can fight on our own, we can win on our own. this doesn't sound like negotiation. It sounds like a bit of fight in public.
See, there are meetings going on in India Alliance, and I think this is the leader of India Alliance, all the leaders of the Congress party. They will sit and decide how many seats, they will negotiate on the seats, how much Mamata Banerjee you want to give to the Congress party and how much Congress party wants from Mamata Banerjee, TMC. So it is the leaders that they have to decide on the seats sake. And like Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary ji said, if they'll not be able to do it, we are ready to fight alone also. So like ultimately it is the leader's decision.
Yes, but these are leaders talking. Some of them have made these statements in public. These are not, just ordinary members of the party. Does it not look in public at least that your parties are not on the same page, and this is now January now?
No, in politics, anything can change in seconds and minutes and hours. So in politics, you can't be decided on today. So there is time to the Lok Sabha elections. But right now, as the meetings are going on, our party president Kharge ji will sit and decide. It is the KC Venugopal, they will all sit and decide. It is the leaders of the West Bengal Congress, they will sit, will discuss and will decide. And I think after the decision, everybody in the country will get to know about how many seats the Congress party is getting, or we'll be fighting the elections all alone, but we are ready to fight. Congress party is ready to fight this Lok Sabha elections with full zeal.
Right. So there is still a possibility, at least from what you're saying, Dolly, I want to go across to Manojit, still a possibility that actually the alliance may not work out, the seat sharing may not work out, the parties may not see eye to eye. Is it not a problem, particularly between the TMC and the Congress, because they are such bitter rivals, on ground locally, and not just their local leaders, their cadres, they just don't see eye to eye?
No, how then Congress and CPM come together if they're fighting each other in Kerala?
That's also a question. It's an open-ended question, actually.
Right. So I think these are issues, these are local issues which can be sorted out at the national level. We are very clear that we need to drive this force politically out, just to save the country, the constitution of the country. You can see how they are muzzling the voice of the people, both inside and outside the parliament. They have weaponized even the parliamentary chairs, the chairs of both the deputy speaker and the speaker in both the houses, by suspending MPs after MPs. They started incidentally with one of our leaders, the leader of the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Derek O'Brien. So you could understand that we are on the same page when it comes to fighting them out. There are local issues it can happen. I do not need to comment on Mr. Udit Chaudhary, because he has been a bitter critic of Mamata Banerjee for the last 25 years, and he could see why Mamata Banerjee is right now. How could Mamata Banerjee fight the CPM out, and who are now in alliance with CPIM? It is Udit Chaudhary and the Congress brigade. They used to say 15 years back that the thousands of their cadres were actually brutally murdered by CPIM, and now they are in alliance with CPIM. So I believe these are lame excuses by Mr. Udit Chaudhary to get their alliance done with CPIM. They are more comfortable with the CPIM, the party that was accused of killing their cadres. So I think the Congress is now at zero in terms of the last major election of 2021, and it has happened because of their faulty policy. They have to get their act together to come to Trinamool Congress.
So you're basically saying that there is absolutely no way and there is no justification for the TMC to give any more than 2 seats to the Congress. Dolly, you want to respond to that? This is precisely what the TMC leadership is saying. 0 at the moment. We are still giving you 2. You should be happy in 2.
Like I said earlier, it is Kharge ji, the president of the Congress party, who will decide whether we will go with the alliance with TMC or not. It is the party president that has to decide. It is not me and him sitting in the debate and can decide on the seat share, how many seats the Congress party wants and how many seats TMC is going to give. So it is ultimately the negotiation between the leaders of TMC and the Congress party, and whatever is the decision, I think will be given large in open very soon.
But very soon seems to be already something that should have happened yesterday. Manojit Mandal, the TMC is also a little frustrated that a lot of the seat sharing decisions haven't been taken yet. Do you believe this is a problem with the India alliance currently?
It should have been done. It should be done, I think, very soon. And I would definitely concur with my Congress friend on one count that we are the TMC is not aligned with the party in the state. The alliance talk is going on at the national level with Mr. Kharge and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. I think ultimately they will take the call. I have given you the history of Mr. Adit Chaudhary and his bitter tirades for Mamata Banerjee for the last 25 years, not just in last 2-3 days. For the last 25, in fact, he is one of the leader because of which Mamata Banerjee had to form a new political party to fight the CPM. He was one of them, of course.
So how will such large differences be papered over is exactly the question I'm asking. You raised the point of Congress and CPIM being in an alliance. When you talk of this national alliance, Manojit Mandal, even TMC is effectively in alliance with the CPM. You're all part of the same bloc.
I repeat, we are very clear. In Bengal, I am saying this with full responsibility. They are even at times pandering to the BJP, the local Congress leader. That's not happening at the national level.
Congress accuses you of doing that.
Absolutely clear about that. So we are only in talks with the national leaders. If they agree to our arrangement.
But national leaders are discussing seat sharing in the states. There is no separate quota of a national seat. Seats are coming from states.
That is their internal problem. The decision will be taken as far as the TMC is concerned by two of the principal leaders, Mrs. Mamata Banerjee and Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, the president and the general secretary of the party.
Let me quickly go across to Shazia Ilmi of the BJP. I know what she is going to say, but I still want to ask the same question that I ask the BJP every time. There are vast differences. Manojit has kind of very eloquently outlined the differences, very stringent ideological and political differences between leadership of the TMC and the Congress today. How do you see pass through that? Or does the BJP, as you keep saying, that this is never going to happen?
Shivani, if we go beyond the platitudes and go into the specifics, the questions raised vis-a-vis TMC and Congress and the antipathy they feel towards each other at this point of time, so succinctly expressed by Manojit Mandal, I would like to say and repeat this, that what you're talking about specifically to West Bengal and TMC and Congress are exactly the same questions that Congress will be asked in Punjab and AAP by Aam Aadmi Party, in UP by Akhilesh Yadav and Samajwadi Party and maybe BSP, we don't know yet. And the same question will also be asked in Bihar by RJD and JDU. So it is, by RJD and JDU. So these are the same questions, and the same questions will be asked of each other by the LDF and UDF in Kerala. So it is there, it is there doing and undoing the unraveling. So no, let me finish. No, you spoke a lot, Manojit. Let me come. I just got a chance to speak. So let me finish saying what I'm saying. So it's all very fine to say we have to defeat BJP, we have to save the constitution. When it comes to actuals and specifics, state-wise, this is the reality. And also one is also forcing some sort of an arrangement. How do you go to people and voters as warring factions just to defeat the BJP and convince your cadres, let alone the voters? I mean, how do you ever see this
Can I just say, I may be hazarding a guess, but I think their voters and cadres are already convinced. It is just about getting and hitting the road early enough. And the pivotal question for them is, are they already too late? But I'll take that to our political expert. Manojit Mandal, I'll give you 30 seconds to respond very quickly, please.
No, I think Shazia doesn't need to bother, because Shazia doesn't have any alliance in their kitty. I mean, I'm again asking the same question which I've been asking for the last 6 months. Name the second political party in NDA with more than 5 seats in the parliament. At least we have 20 parties to talk about.
But you're making a virtue out of a necessity.
But that is a strength. That is a strength. That is a weakness. But this is our strength. What you think is a weakness is actually a strength.
You don't need to,
that is why yours is a kachi atpaki khichdi, whereas we are giving solid, nutritious ahar. That is a difference between you and us. That is a difference. What you think is a weakness is actually a strength. It is a strength. It was actually a strong government in the center that we will be talking about. You have not understood it. You've got it all wrong. You have got it all wrong, my friend. This is the point of strength that we are talking about. There are 20 warring factions. वही तो मैं भी कह रही हूँ. अरे भाई मैं भी वही कह रही हूँ कि सब आपस में लड़ाई करे जा रहे हो. You're tearing each other out with claws. All your claws out. Your knife is out for BJP, but your claws are out for each other.
Okay, can I come in? Can I come in?
That's what I'm saying.
You may ask the question, where is your alliance? But it is not mandatory in India's political system to have an alliance to fight the election. You're making a virtue. You're making a virtue out of a necessity.
Not mandatory. No, but then what was the need of showing 38?
Not a necessity, a majburi. A compulsion, a majburi. ये आपकी मजबूरी है.
If the Congress, Dolly wants to come in. Amitabh, please, I request you patience for a couple of more minutes. Dolly wants to come in. Dolly, you are saying that they don't have a big alliance, but they have these 38 parties. I get that. But can I ask you, hand on your heart, if the Congress was in a situation where you didn't need regional parties, would you be forming this alliance? Today, the Congress is being looked at as a weak link in this alliance. No regional leader wants to give you your piece.
See, we've always respected our alliance partners, unlike the BJP. What they've done to the JDU, what they've done to the AIA, DMK, and what they've done to Akali Dal, everybody has left them. They've left long back. And what was the need of showing 38 parties coming together when half of the parties had no MLAs? Why the Prime Minister came and attended that NDA meeting, coming up with 38 parties when they're fighting all alone?
Why not? But why not?
No.
But why not?
When you're fighting alone, you said, Shazia ji, you said you're fighting alone.
No, the problem is you are the ones having a problem with your alliance. You are the ones who are cobbling together an alliance because you are totally stuck and you're warring with each other and you're tearing each other's eyes out. You're clawing each other's eyes out. You can't come to any point.
Okay.
Ours is a very peaceful alliance. BJP alone is capable. And we have a wonderful alliance. Please don't worry about us.
1 second. Can I just come in?
Don't worry about us, my dear friend.
I don't want people speaking over each other because then neither of you will be heard. I'll give you an opportunity again if I can. The point is that it doesn't help the India alliance whether BJP has 3 alliance partners or 38 alliance partners, Amitabh Tiwari. That's not the point. The point here is, can you come to agreement? Because you also agree in many ways that, see, this is the necessity. We have to come together to beat the BJP. That is why this has been possible. What do you make of the conflicts that the parties are going through on seat sharing?
It has simple majority on its own, so it doesn't need alliance. It has 300 seats and the second largest party in parliament is 50, 1/6 of BJP Delhi. Correct. So that's why the opposition needs an alliance. That's number one. Number 2, alliances conceptually cannot take place between number 1 party and number 2 party in a state like Punjab, AAP and Congress. AAP has got anti-Congress votes in the Vidhan Sabha elections. When they form an alliance, will that vote transfer to Congress candidate when it is the joint candidate? No. Similarly, in Kerala, CPM and Congress are number 1, number 2. They cannot form an alliance. Now in West Bengal, the Congress has to choose whether to go with alliance with TMC or with CPM, because TMC cannot give seats or accommodate both. By the principle of natural justice, if the India bloc or unless the India bloc follows the concept of whichever party was winner in 2019, they have the first right. Whichever party was runner-up in 2019, they have the first right. So by this formula, the number of seats which TMC has agreed to give to Congress is not wrong, because Congress was first in only 2 seats in Bengal and it was a runner-up in 1 seat which the TMC had won. So TMC had a right, has a higher right or a bigger right over that seat. Now this conflicts what this sends a message again to the neutral voter, because see, most of the ideologically aligned voters are already decided, correct? But that number is not very big. In India, only 31% voters are loyal voters, as per Access My India survey. But what this message or this conflict gives a message to the neutral voters is that all is not well in this alliance, and if there is a tussle going on for seats, what will happen if they win the elections, and then do we turn onto an era of 11-month governments of VP Singh, Chandrasekhar, HD Devegowda and Indra Kumar Gujarat? So India is at a very important cusp in its political history, and at this time, none of the voters want political instability. And this bickering gives an indication of instability of the alliance, which may put off some of the neutral votes.
Yes, and they do say that behind the scenes we'll work it out. But actually what's crucial is not how cordial you are behind the scenes. What's more crucial is how bitter are you fighting, in public. That's the perception that is to be managed more, and maybe that's where the India Alliance partners are failing. Amitabh, I've got 30 seconds. I do want to ask you quickly two things. Eventually, if something has to give, do you think, as you pointed out in TMC's case, Congress will have to give? Congress will have to bite the bullet and say, okay, our results are too poor over the last 2 cycles. We will just not get that many seats from our alliance partners this time.
So Congress in Bengal will have to accept either 2 seats or go with an alliance with CPM, which may not be a potent alliance to defeat the BJP. The problem of Congress actually is, or the dilemma is, that in the 190 direct BJP versus Congress contest, MP, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, TMC does not have a single vote. So the problem is that Congress will transfer 5%, 6% vote share to TMC if there is an alliance.
But they will
TMC
not get the benefit of the same. And even in those direct fights, the Congress's record is actually not great.
Benefit to Congress.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Look forward to having you again. Time for me to take your leave. My colleague Rahul Shiv Shankar is joining you.
Viewers, a few days ago, the Hubli-Dharwad police in Karnataka arrested Srikant Pujari, who's in his early 50s. The police have linked him to several so-called Hindu fringe groups. The arrest was made in a rioting case that happened 32 years ago. Yes, viewers, 32 years ago. Pujari is accused of being involved in riots at Hubli in 1992, right after the Babri Masjid demolition in Ayodhya. Ever since his